Let's make a phone call using a 7A rotary system. We won't follow the call progress click by click. It would bury us in details, and the most important concepts would be clouded. Even a medium-sized exchange has thousands of switches, with only some seen here. Only a few are directly involved in making a single call. This video shows a collection of line finders, selectors and sequence switches alongside the control registers. This was recorded at the Ferrymead Post and Telegraph Historical Society, Switch Room, Christchurch, New Zealand. This is a 5-digit exchange, but this explainer example is for 4 digits of dialing. Let's move to a simplified exchange diagram that supports 2,000 subscribers. Here is a very high-level diagram with most of the details not shown. We want to focus here on the most important ideas. First, notice the concentration stage made up of the line finders. For this example, the switches find one off-hook subscriber from a pool of 2,000. The expansion stage is made of selector switches, and it enables one subscriber to reach any of 2,000 endpoint telephones. Let's see how this works. When the caller goes off-hook, the line finders are instructed to search for this line. A caller has just gone off-hook. Before any digits are dialed, the line circuit starts the first line finder to search for this phone line. It may take a second or more to find the line. Great, the line has been found. Next, the second line finder goes into action. Its job is to find the successful first line finder. So, it takes 2 levels of line finder switches to funnel 1 out of 2,000 subscribers. Next, the caller receives dial tone, and then dials the desired 4-digit number, 1365. The digits are recorded on equipment not shown here. This will be discussed in a moment. The recorded digits are used to control the selector switches. The first group selector switch will make a talk path to the final selector that has access to user 1365. Here, the first selector is responding to control signals and stopping on the terminals that lead to the desired final selector. Now, the final selector is being controlled, and it completes the talking path. Next, the called line is tested to see if busy or idle. If idle, a ringing cycle starts. If the caller answers, the talking path is finalized, and the conversation starts. It takes a mountain of equipment for all this to happen. Let's add more detail and see the register, the brains behind call control. It helps now to rewind the calling process and see the register in action. As before, the 2 line finders locate the caller. Then the register chooser goes into action and finds an idle register for the caller. The register provides dial tone and records the 4 dial digits. The rotary system is unique in that it requires a reverse dial on every telephone. The why is explained elsewhere. As the caller dials 1365, the register receives 9, 7, 4, and 5 pulses respectively. Also, the register asynchronously controls the selector switches to forge the talking path. Once the call is made, the register is dropped from the call. Its job is done, and it's free to service another new caller. Not surprisingly, there are more line finder and selector switches than the ones shown here. There are actually more than 1,000 switches forming a mesh or fabric of switches just for a 2,000 line exchange. Imagine the complexity of a 20,000 line system with maybe 1,500 simultaneous conversations. This example is for an intra-office call where the switching is relatively easy. When the dialed number is not in the same exchange, trunk lines leading to remote exchanges are needed, and the switching may get exponentially complex. Many millions of 7A rotary lines were installed worldwide from 1914 until the mid-1950s. This demo system was decommissioned in 1984, after 62 years of service. Its longevity is a testament to superb engineering, ongoing maintenance, and the care provided by a volunteer staff who appreciate the marvel of a purely electromechanical switching system.